Hey guys, what's up, how's it going? My name is Rob and welcome back once again for another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys one Canadian stock that's absolutely worth buying right now in December 2020. So if you guys are brand new to the channel, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Robin and I'm a Canadian investor here on YouTube. And basically what I've been doing is I've been building a dividend-based investing portfolio since January 2020 all the way to now in December 2020. And on this YouTube channel, I've basically been sharing you guys my journey and sharing you guys all the stocks I've been buying and giving you guys updates on how I've been building this portfolio over the past couple months. So last week I did a video where I was giving you guys an update on different stocks I hold inside my portfolio, and what I'm going to start doing going into 2021 is I'm going to start probably once a week, pick each stock inside my portfolio and do a dedicated video to give you guys an update and really just show you guys why I think these stocks are good buys. So in last week's video I did a video about Manulife, and I showed you guys why I think Manulife was a great stock to buy. If you guys missed that video, check out the link in the description. I'll also link to an end screen at the end of the video. You guys can watch the video if you want. So last week we focused on Manulife, and in this week we're going to pick a new stock to focus on inside my portfolio, and the stock we're going to be talking about today is my all-time favorite Canadian stock. And because we're building a dividend-based growth portfolio, the two things I focus on when I pick my stocks are Canadian stocks that have good dividend yields, stocks that have good dividend growth, as well as stocks that also have some room for stock appreciation. So we're getting like the best of everything here. So we'll focus on good quality companies. And I know a lot of people who've been watching YouTube channels have seen a lot of people have been pushing like paid content and paid promos and whatnot. I just want to say really quickly, guys, that I'm never going to like push any stocks on you guys or get paid by companies to promote stocks and then not tell you about them. You know, everything I do on this channel is pretty genuine, and I try to be transparent as possible, and I will always recommend good solid companies for you guys to take a look at. But at the end of the day, remember to do your own research so you guys can figure out if a stock is actually right for you. So the format of this video is going to be pretty simple. I'm going to talk about the stock that I'm going to recommend today. I'm going to go over some information on why I think it's such a great pick. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to share with you guys how many holdings of this particular stock I have, and I'll go over how the stock has performed well for me. So the stock we're going to be talking about today is none other than TD Bank stock. And before we jump in and talk about TD any further, I just want to say, guys, if you guys been enjoying the video and you guys want to support the channel, please do me a big favor and smash that like button. And remember to subscribe if you guys want to see more videos about Canadian stocks. Alright, so really quickly, guys, TD Bank stock currently trades under the ticker TD on the TSX, and at this point in time, at the time of doing this video, TD stock is currently trading for $71.74 on the TSX. To give you guys a quick little introductory to TD, just in case if you guys are unfamiliar with the bank, the Toronto Dominion Bank is Canada's multinational banking and financial services corporation headquartered in Toronto, Ontario. It is commonly known as TD and operating as TD Bank Group, and the bank was created in February 1955. TD Bank is one of Canada's largest banks when it comes to total assets and is the second largest by market capitalization. In fact, if we take a quick peek here on Yahoo Finance, we can see that TD stock actually has a market capitalization of $130 billion. That is absolutely crazy. So as you guys can see, this is one of the biggest and largest banks in Canada, and this just goes to show that how reputable and how solid this company really is. And if you pull up this little graph here on Yahoo Finance, we can actually see that TD Bank stock has had a long, consistent history of humongous stock appreciation on the chart here. So this is a good sign, and these are things I like to look for with a company, especially when it comes to investing in a company during today's pandemic and whatnot. You really want companies that can stand the test of time, that are constantly growing all the time. And when it comes to stock appreciation and a company growing, one of the best things I like to look for is consistent earnings growth. And we can see here with this cool little chart I managed to pull up with some information about TD, is we can see how TD has been growing over the past couple of years. So you can see here that this light green line is Canadian retail. The second one, this darker green, is US retail. Then we can see wholesale banking. And the nice thing is, like, we can see this slowly increase over time. Now, obviously, most of TD's money comes from the Canadian retail. But one thing I really like to see is as we go into the later years here, we can see an increase in US retail, which is really shows you that TD is starting to diversify internationally. And when it comes to a company growing, I think going internationally and going into the US market is a great way to take those earnings to the next step. And if we go on Yahoo Finance, we can see that TD also had an absolutely amazing year when it comes to earnings in regards to 2020. You guys can see that we started off the year pretty decently. Quarter 2 was obviously pretty bad, as most banks and most companies overall had a pretty miserable quarter 2. Quarter 3 was a bounce back, which was really nice and looked good for TD. And now going into quarter 3, we can see that the earnings absolutely skyrocketed up. And once again, this is just because things are going back to normal. So this just goes to show once again that TD is one of those companies that's going to just keep growing over time. And if they keep growing, their stock will rise, those dividends will increase, and I think this just makes it such a solid Canadian stock to invest into. And I managed to pull this cool little graph here that shows the quarter quarter four earnings for all the big Canadian banks in Canada. And as you guys can see here, the revenue from all these banks, we can see that TD is actually sitting at the end with RBC. And RBC is actually one of my other favorite banks too. I think RBC is also a really good Canadian bank, and I think they're going to do well in the future. But as you guys can see, TD and RBC are the top two banks right now. And as you guys can see, like TD is also performing quite well when it comes to growth overall in the past 3 months, in the past different quarters here. So I think RBC and TD are kind of like at the top here, and I think these are my two favorite banks going forward into the new year. Now, if I hop on over to Wealthsimple Trade and I pull up the price of TD stock, we can see that TD stock is currently trading at negative 2.59% over the past year. So they've had a nice recovery from the pandemic that happened, which is a good thing, but also maybe not necessarily a good thing if you're looking at if you want to buy TD as an undervalued stock. But I still think that TD has tons of room to grow, and it's still down 2%. So it's still got a little bit of growth going towards the end of the year. And I think going into the next couple of years, it's going to keep growing. So because the company is always growing and because they have a good job at keeping their earnings growing, I don't think we need to really worry about the stock price rising so much. I think this is just natural. So going the next couple of years, I still think TD has lots of growth ahead of them. And of course, most of the Canadian banks also have pretty good dividend yields, and TD is no different, currently sitting at a dividend yield of 4.41% at the time of doing this video. This shows us that TD also is a really nice dividend-based company as well. And in regards to actual numbers, we can see here that TD's annual dividend is currently sitting at $3.11 per share, giving once again this dividend yield about 4.34%. The payout ratio is pretty nice, sitting at 40 to 50%, which is really good for a bank, especially in times like these. So I think they have tons of room for growth. They're really good in regards to having a conservative dividend, so there's lots of growth going in the future, and this is what I really like about TD. They also did increase their dividend earlier this year in February, so going into 2021 we might see a dividend increase, we might not, but regardless of that, I still think it's going to grow in the future. And if you guys have a better like a visual representation of this, you guys can see that in 1995, TD's dividend was trading at 0.22 cents per share, and it's all the way up to $3.11 in 2020. So that's absolutely crazy gains over the past 15 to 20 years or so. TD's dividend has just went up 11% on an annualized basis over these past couple of years, and over the past like 5 to 10 years, it's been a huge increase. You guys can see that ton of that growth came in the past 10 years. So I think, you know, that growth is going to keep going in the future, and if they've increased their dividends in the past, they're probably going to increase them into the future. And remember, if you're investing in dividend stocks, you want companies that are growing their dividends over time. This is how you make money with dividend investing. One other thing I really like about TD as well is they also have a price to earnings ratio at 11.15, which basically is suggesting that this company is also a little bit undervalued overall when it comes to stock price to earnings. Alright, so early in this video, I promised you guys I'd go over TD Bank in my portfolio and show you guys how it has been performing inside my portfolio. So here I am inside my Wealthsimple Trade account. We'll click on TD here and we'll take a quick little peek. So I currently own about 21 shares of TD in my TFSA, which is a total value of $1,504, and I am up 8.33% per year to date. And I've been buying TD throughout the entire year. I started buying it in January and I've been buying it all the way to this date. My overall performance is up $115, so I'm pretty happy with TD. You know, it's one of those stocks I'm going to keep buying on a regular basis, and I've been buying throughout the year, and it's performed pretty well for me throughout this year. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. So let me know what you guys think of TD stock in the comments below. And I wasn't kidding when I said that TD stock is honestly one of my favorite, if not my favorite Canadian stock. I think it is absolutely crazy good stock with a crazy good history, and I think going in the future they're going to do quite well. So I think TD is one of the best stocks out there. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section, what you guys think of TD. So that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'll link to the Manulife review video I did last week. If you guys want to watch that, check that out. There'll be an end screen. You guys can click on that. But other than that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys later.